Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy. 4 studs and 4 duds is what you're getting today by clicking on this video. Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, most entertaining fantasy show on the planet. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And it's time to prep for week 3. We're calling our shot. We're planting our flag. These are 4 studs and 4 duds. Studs, guys that are going to overperform, that are going to help you win your week. And duds are guys that you need to get out of your lineup. We're calling it. Better listen and better respond. Better take action here. Starting out with quarterbacks. Wes, take it away.
Let's talk about a stud of 2025. 2 weeks, 2 great performances. You may have just got him off your waiver wire too. I think you can just start Daniel Jones. He has yet to prove why he should be on the bench. Now, of course, there are going to be some fantastic quarterbacks that you would never start over anybody, and not even the matchup, not even how bad they did the week before. And that's going to be Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, maybe Jalen Hurts, maybe Jaden Daniels. Outside of that, I mean, you'd have to talk to me why you shouldn't start Daniel Jones. He has been amazing. Quarterback 3 going into week 3. I love what he is doing with Indianapolis. He is this year's Sam Darnold, who was the year before his Baker Mayfield, who was the year before his Geno Smith. Quarterback in a terrible franchise, finds a new home and is crushing it. I love what's going on. Now, here's my dud for week 2. You may also have picked off the waiver wire, and I understand why you did. Joe Burrow is out for quite some time, but my dud for week 3 is going to be Jake Browning. I do not like the matchup for week 3. I do not like that he's going to be playing against the Minnesota Vikings. I know what he did against the Jaguars looks great. Did that 2 years ago as well on prime time when Joe Burrow went out with a season-ending injury as well. And there's a reason that they paid Jake Browning a lot of money to be the backup for Joe Burrow. But this Vikings defense is really good, and I know that we've seen the production stats all around social media that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, their numbers decrease with Jake Browning, decrease without Joe Burrow under center. So I would not try to jumpstart a rough season if you've got Jake Browning as your quarterback. By putting him as the guy you're going to go into week 3 with, I look for somebody else. He's my dud.
Jumping into running backs here. My running back is in that same game as Jake Browning on the other side of the ball. It's Jordan Mason taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I was a big fan of Jordan Mason throughout the offseason, kept saying he was a must-draft player. Minnesota was very excited about him, talking about him being this tandem with Jones being a 1A and a 1B, and we're going to keep him fresh. We're going to do this. We're going to make it work. It's going to be a great time. We have the best backfield in the league. Kevin O'Connell's very in on this. And now Aaron Jones is not expected to play against the Cincinnati Bengals in week 3. He has a hamstring injury. So Jordan Mason, who was averaging 16.6 fantasy points per game in San Francisco as the lead back, comes in a prime spot to lead the backfield against a team that has allowed 3 different running backs to score over 15 fantasy points this year. And I said 3, and there's been 2 games. So the Cincinnati Bengals are letting running backs score against them. He should have a very productive week 3. And I think it's going to be a really, really good play this week. Now, my dud running back, it's a rough matchup for Kyren Williams going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Add to that, he saw his second lowest snap share of his career last week against the Titans. I understand that they were up big in that game and that maybe they didn't need to have him in the game if it wasn't necessary. But either way, I'm not excited about the matchup that held all 3 Kansas City running backs to a combined 55 rushing yards. And they've got Jalen Carter in the lineup. Obviously, it's a very tough team to run against. I don't know. I'm just not buying it. He also Blake Corum got a goal line carry for a touchdown last week over Kyren Williams, and that's usually Kyren's spot. So I'm not sure if it was just game script dependent and that's just kind of how it happened. But either way, I don't love the matchup for Kyren this week. So he is my dud running back.
We had a lot of superstar wide receivers that finally did great in week 2, and we still got some players that were waiting to kind of get going. And if you've got George Pickens on your team, he is my stud for week 3. I cannot say how excited I was going into the season. Noah and I are both very, very excited for George Pickens' incredible debut season with the Dallas Cowboys. I went as far as say he was going to be a top 10 wide receiver on the season. Looking at week 1, was concerned. Looking at week 2, feel really great. And I think the train's going to keep on rolling, especially against the Bears. Did you not see what? No, not Amon-Ra St. Brown did. Jameson Williams. There's your comparison because he also had a fantastic game, and the wide receivers did whatever they wanted. Everyone did whatever they wanted against the Bears defense if they're the Lions offense. I think the Cowboys have a similar enough offense to do something like that. I'm not saying 52 points, but George Pickens, I think, is going to feast. No famine, all feast. Line him up. And there are very few wide receivers I think you shouldn't start Pickens over. Now, for the dud of week 3 for my wide receiver, I can't say for sure you should bench this guy because you spent a really valuable draft pick on him. But I think the dud for week 3 is secretly going to be Drake London. And it's not because I doubt Drake London. It's not because I doubt Michael Penix Jr. I do think there needs to be some consistent chemistry for me to really think Drake London is going to continue to be a week winning wide receiver. But the Carolina Panthers secondary is actually way better than everyone's giving credit for. We're only 2 weeks in. So I'm kind of calling a shot here. First of all, looking over Drake London's career against the Panthers, plays twice a year. He's only scored double digits twice against the Panthers in his career. So there is some division toughness, if you will, with Drake London. But week 2, we just saw Marvin Harrison Jr., fresh off an incredible game, 4 points. And then week 1, Brian Thomas Jr., everyone's favorite, well, I guess second favorite LSU superstar rookie next to Malik Neighbors. Early second round pick, late second round pick, guys left him. He had basically 1 point. Without that 9-yard rushing into the end zone, Brian Thomas Jr. walks away with 1 catch for 11 yards. So this Panthers secondary might be a lot better than we realize. And I'm going to say Drake London is going to be a dud.
Bummer. Disappointing to hear. Let's jump into the tight ends. Sorry to beat a dead horse here, but the stud tight end for week 3 is Juwan Johnson. This is very real. I just want to emphasize that at this point. Wes pointed it out last week, gave great numbers for it. This is very real for Juwan Johnson. He's always been a guy that when given the opportunity, he has performed, he has shown it. He's struggled to stay healthy all throughout his career so far, but he is going to be the top target for Spencer Rattler in this offense, in an offense that's going to have to throw a lot, in a Kellen Moore offense that has a very, very quick pace of play. They execute many plays a game because of the way that Kellen Moore runs his offenses. Juwan Johnson is an every week starter for the season, and he's going to be a stud again in week 3. I'm sure of it. So gonna emphasize it there. And Fourth and Troll Fantasy is all in on Juwan Johnson. Now my dud tight end, Mark Andrews. It is so over, dude. It is so over. 2 weeks, 2 catches. Isaiah Likely is going to be coming back here. Mark Andrews is just no longer necessary to the offense. I think is really what it came down to, is that he's no longer needs to be a key piece of the offense, and he's not a second piece of the offense or the third piece of the offense even. It's just there's many more options on that Ravens team for the ball to go to. There's many more options out there on the waiver wire for you to go to at tight end. So pivot away from Mark Andrews if he's your tight end that you drafted. Call it now, okay? It's just call it now. It's just not good. It's just not a good vibe here. So he is going to be my dud tight end for week 3. That's going to do it. Let us know in the comments any start sit questions you may have, anything you're debating over, you're mulling over. Join the Discord. We'll be chatting about it over the weekend as well. It's going to be a good time. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. This has been Fourth and Troll Fantasy. I'm Noah Selby,
And I'm a Selby.
and we'll see you next time.